Hi, my name is Andrea, and in June 2015, I was working at my local CBS news station. And I was their main camera operator on their live studio on the day that they had the Vanity Fair Call Me Caitlyn magazine, in which Caitlyn Jenner came out as a trans woman in a wonderful dress. At the time, 11 years ago, I was 19 years old and looked like this. And I had just recently came out as both bigender and pansexual in January or February that year. And the summer before, in 2014, I began what I considered to be cross-dressing at the time. And that's a story for another day. I promise I'll get to it, I promise. And I also had very short hair, as you can see from the pictures. I had just cut off 1.5 years worth of hair. And before that, I had cut off 3 years of hair. So I started at 14, grew my hair to 17, and then cut it off at 19. And having very short hair for the first year or two of my social transition was not ideal, especially because just over a month later, or right under a month later after the Vanity Fair magazine, I came out to myself as a transgender woman. So the Vanity Fair magazine that Caitlyn was on really forced me to look more into myself. And this issue of Vanity Fair became one of the most important parts of me coming out. Now, I'm not someone who's gonna sit here and pick apart everything that she's done. And I don't believe that anybody should be deadnamed or misgendered, regardless of what they've done. Our identity as trans people does not get taken away if we're a bad person, no matter what. And that might give me hate or negative attention, but that's who I am and those are my values. And while she may not be a great spokesperson for our community, regardless of everything negative, and believe me, there's a lot of negative things about her, she was also an integral part of me coming out and coming to terms with who I am. And it was at a time where Donald Trump wasn't even a candidate for president yet, where I was going by a completely different name and swore up and down that I would never change my name. I promised that to myself.
I know that I would not change my name.
But less than a month later, I had the name Jamie. And it took another 2 years to get the middle name Andrea. And now I just go by Andrea. And it was 6 whole years before I started estrogen hormone replacement therapy in 2021. It was a very, very different time. And so that's a story on how me and Caitlyn Jenner are connected, how she was part of the reason that I came out. So if you haven't already, click that follow button over there and a subscribe button down below so you can see the rest of my videos. I am a 30-year-old transgender woman, and I make videos about striving, thriving, and being an out loud and proud trans woman in the United States of America in the year 2026. And until next time, it has been a wonderful time connecting or reconnecting with my wonderful gals, guys, and everybody in between. Keep it casually authentic.